kale going for about a half hour. Now I'm gonna add some onion and garlic to it. No specific amount, just what you like, depending on how much soup you're making. I'm gonna put the rest of this in. I rather prefer to use fresh garlic, but I used the rest the other night and I forgot to pick it up when I went shopping. So it's always good to have this in the fridge as a backup. Now I'm going to add some seasoning, which I've got some chicken bouillon. Again, no specific measurement, just how you go about the way you like your food seasons. And I'm also going to add some red pepper flakes. I'm really not a big fan of red pepper flakes at all, but I did get this to make my own taco seasoning, and I didn't like it, at least not that recipe. So now I got all this extra and I need to use it up. So I've been adding it here and there to certain things. I just think it gives it more like hot than flavor or spice, at least for my palate anyway, but I have it, so I'm going to use it up. And then I'm going to take this cheese rind and I'm just going to let it go at the bottom. I love doing this with soups. You got to let me know, is this something that you do, something you've done? Have you ever heard of it? The next step is going to be adding some butter. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons. And to that, I'm going to add some orzo pasta. I'm not going to add a lot, but just a little bit to bulk up the soup. It's time to add the protein to this soup. I just added some cooked chicken that I had cooked previously. You can add leftover chicken, you can add rotisserie chicken, however you want. You could even purposely boil up chicken and use that broth for the base of the soup before you add the kale. I'm also going to add a can of beans, and I'm going to add the water that it comes in also, because it has just a nice rich thickness to the soup. My mom always did that, and she was an amazing cook, so I just followed in her footsteps. The last steps to my soup, I'm gonna add milk. I'm probably just gonna finish this off, not even worry about measuring it. Sure, why not? All right, but I mean, if you wanted an exact measurement, say a cup to a cup and a half. That's gonna add some creaminess to the soup, because I'm gonna add in some Parmesan cheese. I rather use the fresh Parmesan cheese, but I don't have any. I actually have a Portuguese cheese, which is amazing, but it's frozen. So we're gonna use this. Use as much as you want. And that's gonna mix in with that soup. Not soup. Obviously it's gonna mix in with the soup. it's gonna mix in with that milk. Bring a nice creamy thickness to it. And that's it. I'm just gonna let it go for another 5 to 10 minutes and it's done. You can also squeeze in some fresh lemon juice in here. That's really good too. I'm out of lemons, so it's not something I do all the time anyway. It just depends. I like the way it works with the chicken in it, but you don't miss it. Once all these ingredients are done marrying each other, I'm gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna remove that rind. Dinner's ready. This soup takes minimal ingredients, a protein. I have a ground turkey that I seasoned. Vegetables this time around, I'm just using the rest of a package that I used for a different meal. That's got peas and carrots, a package of country gravy mix, and a bag of frozen O'Brien potatoes. And I did leave out my bouillon just in case I need to season the broth a little bit more. I followed the package directions to avoid any lumping, and then I shut off the burner. I had the water boiling and added it in. Now I'm going to turn the burner back on and start adding everything else. So I'm going to start with the potatoes. Oh wow, that already looks so pretty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the vegetables. Even though this is a winter soup, the colors are giving spring vibes. Now I'm just gonna mix that up. I'm gonna let it come back to a boil. And then once the potatoes are basically cooked, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the ground turkey that I had already cooked. And this soup is done. Now I'm gonna let all those flavors marry. And I did do a taste test and I definitely added some more bouillon. It definitely needed it. I'm gonna bake this pumpkin spice bread to have along with the soup. I'm also gonna make a simple Caesar salad and we're gonna have some fruit.